Hi, welcome to Lab Games. I'm your host, Anthony.
I'm Francis.
Today we are doing part 2 of our huge...
of our bye-bye board games.
Bye-bye board game sell-off collection event. Eventathon. So if you were around for our first round of games, then you know that we bring... we brought a lot to the table. 50 games, right? Literally, we brought 50 games to the table. We kind of talked through each one of them in fired off fashion, rapid fire fashion. It was really quick. Mm-hmm. So this isn't like micro reviews, but you could take it as that. And full disclosure, by no way are these games not good games by our standards. Yeah, a lot of them are good games.
Yeah, and we will say as much.
Yeah, they just don't quite have a place in our collection because the scope of our collection has gone down considerably. Yeah. We went from 600 games, and now we want to keep the top 100 at most. Yeah. And this is really going to be a challenge, as you can imagine. So our first round of sales had gone incredibly well. Oh, yeah. To be honest with you.
Crazy. So, you guys are so good.
Yeah. Like, there's so many games flew off the shelves. We sold most of our 50. I'll be honest with you. You can go actually look at the video notes.
1, 2. Oh, yeah. It'll be on there, right?
Go look at the video notes. We sold probably close to 40 games. If you go look at our video notes, it'll show you what's left.
10 left?
10 to 15
or so, because I think some of those are even on their way.
Some of those are even on their way. Yeah, people continue to buy games from the previous video, and it's really starting to dwindle down. So if you're interested in any of those, they're still available. They're listed on that previous video. Let us know. We'll get it.
But a very good point, because as you watch through this video of 50 more games, know that they do go quick.
Yes.
So, we got several emails from folks that were like, do you still have this or that? And it's like, they just went out the door.
Yep.
So.
And it's a first come, first serve. So if you can get your emails in to us at antlabgames@gmail.com, and you ask for a particular game. Now, granted, just because you ask for the price of it doesn't mean you're going to be the one who gets it, because you could ask for a price, I could send it back, and at the same time somebody else is asking for a price, I send it back, and then they respond first saying I'll take it, right? Yeah, they get it. Like this isn't about
everybody's seen. There was no
real. I mean, we had maybe one or two where I felt kind of bad because they wanted a game but they couldn't get it back to me in time, and somebody else had bought it with another collection of games. Ideally, we'd like to see 2 to 4 games go in a bundle, because it's easier to pack that way, and the shipping is a lot cheaper if I can get it all out in one box, as opposed to buying one game here and one game there. But either way, you get what you want. To give you an idea of what we've been charging for games, we've been told multiple times that the pricing is very generous. What we'll do is we'll look online to see what a game is going for, and take the cheapest price it's going for, with reasonably going for, not to some bogus weird site, but actual sites that are selling the games, what they would go for, and then we cut that price in half. Yeah. Like literally. Like, so if it's a $50 game, $25. That's our starting point. Yeah. If you want to negotiate that, we're happy to do that. But if you're going to send me an offer for $10 a game for 3 games that are all $50 to $60 games, I'm probably not going to respond at all to that email, or I'm just going to say no thanks, right? So if you don't hear from me, it's most likely because I haven't gotten to it, I missed it, or if I did get to it and the offer was just horrific.
Yeah, I don't think we missed any, actually.
No, I went back to most of them. There were some pretty low-ball offers, though, that were just like, I'm not even going to entertain this. I'm not selling this game for that, right? Because I can go to my local game store and sell them a game for $8, you know what I mean? And that'll save me the shipping. Right.
And most of these, and as we go through the games, we'll tell you, too, like, a lot of these have been played, like, maybe 2 or 3 times. Yeah. A lot of them that we reviewed, obviously we played them a few more times, but we have several that we haven't reviewed even on the channel, and we kind of played it once or played it half a time, and we're like,
or maybe some games we haven't played at all. Like these are, or maybe we opened them and never played them. Like these are our games, our games that we went out,
the ones that we bought,
picked them up at the game store, or we backed them on Kickstarter, or I traded for them. One way or another, I got our hands on something. So these aren't like review copies of games. They're review copies of games, for those of you who are wondering. Those are going away on our Patreon.
And that is a huge pile.
Yeah, so we, I'm telling you, we send out 2 games a week to our patrons. Yep. All levels. So there's no limit to the level. If you're the lowest level patron or the highest level patron. We are drawing randomly for 2 people and sending them out, even though Patreon frowns upon that. I really don't care. But we are drawing, randomly picking 2 people, and those people are getting games. So if you do the math, everybody will get a game at some point this year.
And then our top tier patrons are getting, we're doing like our sealed, like we have
brand new.
A lot of the games that we review, we will get a copy of, and we don't always keep those. So we have, or publishers just give us like sealed copies of games to give away.
Yep.
So our top tier patrons will get those in shrink copies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
in addition to.
So it pays to be a patron over here in the Ant Lab because it's all about getting games. Like if you're in the market and you want to spend $3 a month to back us at the lowest tier, you're in the running for a free game. Like it's pretty crazy if you think about it. And the games are all pretty good.
All right.
So
cool.
Yeah. Before we jump in, we want to talk about something that we will be covering.
Yes.
A product we'll be covering in the coming months. But this is called Pirates Gold.
Yeah, we thought this would be a good time because a lot of you watch these to kind of show this so that you know, like when we use them in future games, you're like, where did those come from?
Yep.
And it's like actually this
it's coming from
ancillary set of poker chips.
So this is a poker set and it's poker chips, but they're actually not chips, they're coins, and they are pirate coins.
Pirate coins.
And they're metal. I'm thinking these are like copper. These are some kind of like...
I think it's like bronze or iron, right?
Yeah, but it's like really...
copper, iron,
I love the
silver,
finish on
gold.
these. Like these are like really, really slick to feel. And then you have like the silver ones, which have a really cool thing. I'm not sure if I have a nice zoom in. Yeah, I do. So up here, you can get an idea what the coins look like, right?
Should be like this.
Yeah. There you go. Yep. So you would pretty much determine your denomination, like 1s, 5s, 10s, and 25s, however you want, right? And there's like, I guess, a first player marker.
Yeah.
You're playing a pirate game. But it comes with this giant set of coins. It comes with 2 decks of Pirates Gold cards and this nice little carry case. And we will be using these in place of stock chips or money in a lot of our games going forward. So these are Pirate Gold. You can check them out. We'll put a link to their website down below so you can
get
go look
yourself
them
some
up.
Pirate Gold.
Get yourself some Pirate Gold. I mean, especially if you are a pirate gamer, then it would probably make sense for you to have some sort of bling like that. So. We like upgraded coins. We have the iron clays, which are like poker chips. So if you're not down with the poker chips, like the real metal feel of it, bang, Pirates Gold. It's the nicest coins I've seen yet. But just check it out down below. Okay.
All right.
And no, we are not being paid for that.
Oh yeah, we're not
at all. They just sent it to us to demo. So there you go. Let's start off with the games.
All right, we've got like lots of piles, so I'll probably be
so
getting
she'll be
up
bringing
and
piles
bringing
over. I will talk through as much as I can,
Okay.
but you want to go grab some more while I talk about this?
Yeah, I'll do that here. I just want to give you that one.
So this is Dinosaur Island Extreme Edition in the base game, so it comes with expansions. But if you ever played Dinosaur Island, it is a game where you're basically running a dinosaur island. In fact, this one has its own metal coins, believe it or not, within it. So this is the whole kit and caboodle in these 2 boxes. You're going to get the base game, and you're going to get... So I backed this on Kickstarter many moons ago. So this was totally liquid. This is the... which includes the solo mode. So totally liquid, and the extreme edition of the base game. I'm going to sell that as a set. So if you are interested, send that email. That's number 1. So number 1, I'll talk about number 2. I'm going to talk about all the games that I know that you might not, because some of these are from my early collection.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's ever played Mistfall, but it's like an adventure sort of deck builder, deck management, adventure role-playing game where you build like characters and stuff, and you go, you fight monsters and all that stuff. I have the original Mistfall. And I also have the Mistfall Heart of the Mists, which is a standalone expansion for Mistfall, so I would like to sell those together. The Mistfall box lid's a little dented. Otherwise, I mean, there's like no inserts on these. It's literally just cards. The Mistfall Hearts of the Mist, this one's in much nicer condition. But it's got all the stuff inside. So if you're interested in that, have at it. I just don't have time to play it, so it's gotta go.
I don't want to stack any higher.
And just so you all know too, the you want to grab the Mistfall? These games, when you place your bid, and I'll walk a little bit through how this whole process works. So you'll send me the email. We'll go through it. We'll come up with a price. I will calculate shipping. I'll send you back basically a full invoice of the cost of the games plus shipping via PayPal. And then once you pay the invoice via PayPal, I will ship it out the next day or 2 max.
Yeah,
so
we get these out really quick.
within 2 days, that thing will be sent out and you'll have it within the next 3 to 5, right? Depending on where you live. If you're out in California, might be a little tougher. If you're on the East Coast, if you're in the Northeast near Philly, we've actually met people and handed stuff off, so it saves you on shipping. That way you can actually buy like a big bundle of games, and it's far cheaper.
A bunch of games. I'll just pull these.
Yeah, once you start talking about so.
Okay, so we've got Azul, which
next.
I just feel like we've played so many times. It's a great game, but we've just played it a lot, and we're a little Azuled out.
I'm over it. I'm over it. So
we put this one in there.
Yep. Picked this up at a con.
This was like the biggest game of like Gen Con 2019, I think. But yeah, it's a cool little like art game. You're just it's a matching game, really.
Mm-hmm.
Good for families. Good if you know somebody who likes Bob Ross.
It's just light.
But again, a little too light for us.
Just don't have room in the collection for it.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Michael Strogoff. Michael Strogoff. This is a la the Jules Verne novel. So if you're like a literary person or know someone who is, you might enjoy this one. And I can't remember. I know that you're like working across like a landscape kind of thing, but it's a dice for actions type of game. So if you like those sorts of games where you're rolling dice and like you're using your pips to do actions, that's like what you're doing in this one. So you don't remember this game?
Vaguely.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time. It was a good game.
I remember it being fun. But
yeah, it was good. But again, yeah, and you can kind of like
lighter.
Yeah, I remember you can sort of like power up your own actions by adding cards that have different dice pips on them. So you can like change the kinds of actions that you take, which is kind of neat. So 60-minute game. Plays 1 to 5.
All right, that's Michael Strogoff. Founders of Gloomhaven. So if you're a Gloomhaven fan, which we're not, we're okay with it. I'm a little like
Gloomhaven out.
Yeah, because it's like just 9,000 havens in Gloom. Then I'm just like, I one thing I don't like about role-playing games is when they pressure me to be super efficient with my moves, almost to the point of like, okay, like I'm barely getting out of each level. I'm like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy my playthrough. I like to feel a little bit overpowered almost because it's more fun building up a powerful hero. Whereas I just feel like I'm always like scraping by in that game. And to me, it's just, I don't know, the whole thing of it just doesn't work for me. But Founders of Gloomhaven is not Gloomhaven as in the dungeon. You're basically building the city of Gloomhaven.
It's a tile placement game.
Tile placement.
It's like card actions.
I think so.
Tile placement.
Yeah, so it's not a bad game.
Right.
I believe we enjoyed it.
We did a review on it. And we also did. I think we did.
Yeah.
Or maybe we didn't.
I don't think we did. I think we played it.
Okay.
I don't think we filmed it. I'll be honest.
I think that's like a lot of these.
Yes. So, Sagrada, you should know about this.
Such a good game. Yeah, this is another really good one.
Really nice dice game, building these beautiful stained glass.
And La Sagrada Familia.
Yeah, stained glass windows with the colorful dice and building matching patterns and pip counts.
Yep, cool little puzzle.
Nice light little dice game.
Yeah. The Magnificent. This is actually an excellent game. The issue that we have with it, though, is that it's very, like, low-key. So it's a very dark game, which means it's hard to play.
It's low-key a dark game.
It's low-key a dark game. It's low-key dark. But it's good. You're basically a magician. You're putting on, like, magic shows, which is a cool, like, alternative to, like, a Tricerian or something. But this is more like... it's not as like Tricerian magic. It's more
it's like you're a traveling magician. Yeah, almost like a fair, like a magic fair.
Yeah, because you're expanding your camp with tiles and stuff too. So it's got a little bit of like tile placement, and then you've got your like performance, oh gosh, I say era. That's not right.
No, phase.
You do your performance phase. You stage your show, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But again, another one that like we picked up and then just never filmed.
I think they missed the mark on the art on that one. I'll be honest. Planetarium is sort of a really abstract like universe, sort of like or galaxy sort of game where you're like don't know if you're like building planets. I think they kind of form. You're using like different tokens on a map. It's real.
Is this the one where you're discovering? You're going around the solar system, and I think you're like traveling to different orbits and like discovering planets. Yeah. Right.
No, you're colliding to create unique solar systems. You're actually pushing like these neutrons together to create stars and planets.
Right.
Which I thought was really neat. But again, another game that. It's cool, but
it was cool, but
like,
I guess
there's a lot of, like we have a lot of good games. It's just that you don't have anywhere to put them.
The thing is, you cannot have 600 okay games.
Yeah,
like you're keeping everything,
and
so
you're
the
never
bar
playing
just has to be like a lot higher.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Aeon's End?
Yeah, Aeon's End. So this is the original Aeon's End. Deck builder. You're mages and you're battling like bosses. It's co-op. I believe it's solo. And the Aeon's End world blew up since this came out. We just never collected anything since the original. Yeah. So this is the original. This is what I'm getting rid of. Don't have any of the other ones, but again, just don't have time.
Okay. Horrified. Yep. This is such a good one too.
That's a great one.
Yeah, this is actually a really good game.
So I wouldn't be disappointed if this didn't sell.
Yeah.
But
if
honest,
you're into it,
if you're into it and you want a copy, here it is.
Yeah. Yamatai. Yes. Yamatai.
So this is like the
really good one.
Japanese version of Five Tribes, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If you're more into this theme, it's pretty cool.
It's a cool game.
Yep.
It's a beautiful game. I'd love to hold on to it, but again, I just don't.
It's one of these things where we're like, we don't have the space for it. We'd have to get rid of something else if we kept it. So we're going to release it to the universe, which is you guys.
And if we love it and we miss it so much, we'll buy it back.
Yeah.
Or we'll trade for it, right? Like
exactly.
You got to be willing to make these sacrifices.
Yeah.
We sold Clank in Space last time. Here's the original Clank. And the reason these weren't together is that our boxes are in storage. They're not together. So we're pulling games out in no particular order.
Right.
So...
Are you running out of space over there?
Kind of. Not Clank in Space.
Not Clank in Space.
Dead Panic. It's a game I've had for a while. So this is like a follow-up to Castle Panic, where you are basically... In Castle Panic, you have a castle in the middle, and all these like orcs and goblins are coming to kill you, and you've got to stop them all. In this game, it's similar, but there's zombies coming to get you, and you're at like an RV in the middle, and you've got to kind of put it all together to try to escape. Yeah, you're in a cabin, right? And then they're coming from the woods, and as they come in, it's exactly what it is. It's like tower defenses. They're coming in, and you're killing the zombies. So real light, real simple, fun to play if you're into the zombie theme. Oracle of Delphi. Now these are Tasty Minstrel, who doesn't really exist anymore.
No, yes, this is your chance to get the TMG version of Oracle of Delphi. Also a good game.
It was neat. It's a pick up and delivery game. Yep. Your little boat's going around.
I'm so good at this game.
And like the Greek islands, trying to do like special things, collect things, artifacts, dump stuff off. It's a real shame that TMG went under, because our next TMG title that we're getting rid of is...
They were really good. I really like this game.
It's pretty good.
A lot. So like, if you haven't heard of it or you haven't played it, this might be one you want to look into.
Yeah, I think this has a deluxe upgrades. It's got the plastic parts.
Did we review this one?
I feel like we did. I think we did.
It's cool because
it's got all the upgraded components.
It's one of these ones where like you craft your workers or your they're not monsters, aliens. I guess, they're like aliens. Yeah. But you craft them, so like you can add like different heads and like different arms, like based on what they do. So it just changes the way that you play. So it's kind of like a tableau builder, but also like a action worker builder game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a shame TMG went under.
Yeah.
They don't know if it was mismanagement or having the wrong people on staff, but these things happen.
It happens. The Expanse, the board game. So if you are fans of the show / the books, like we are, this may be a game for you. However, it does have movie art, which is one of Anthony's least favorite things ever.
I don't like movies.
Do you have anything else to say about the Expanse board game? Okay.
No.
Yes. Will the UN or Martian forces control the resources of the belt? It's one of these, like, just going into space.
Yeah.
If you're into the Expanse, like universe, literally the lore, then definitely one that you want to get your hands on. But it wasn't something that we wanted to necessarily keep.
Yeah. So here we go. Yep. I'm going to sell my copy of Imperial Assault. Mind you, this is where it's rough. I've opened a lot of games up, started to paint them, and then stopped and never played them again and never took them out. So this happens to be one of them. I started painting stormtroopers.
Can you get a close-up of that?
I'm not really sure I can.
They look really good.
I mean, they're definitely cool, but yeah. So like, here's a stormtrooper. Like, so they're partially painted. Yeah. I don't know if I painted anything else, but I like primed some other stuff. So if you're looking to get this game and you want to paint it, it's ready to go. There's even a couple of expansion villain packs in here, like the Royal Champion Guard, IG-88's in here. There's like some deck box and some chit holders to hold all the components. So like, it's got a bunch of extras in it if you're looking to get into this game on the cheap, because I will get rid of this on the cheap, just letting you all know. Just because it's like punched and played, and it's partially painted, so I will definitely be flexible on this one, if you know, to get it to the right hands and the right home.
Yes. All right. Ugh, next one. This is so big.
This is a big box. Yeah.
Ugh, intrepid. So this is one we picked up actually last year. I think at PAX. Yeah. We picked this up from Uproarious Games. Jeff Beck. We demoed it there with him, and it's kind of a neat like space game where you're each different. I'm going to say factions, different countries aboard like the International Space Station.
Country specialists.
Yeah, you're different specialists from different countries, and you have it's a dice mitigation game, so you're rolling a lot of dice, and then you're mitigating to try and take different actions and things, and each country operates differently. So like, you may be able to rotate your dice, you may be able to flip your dice, and do different kinds of like mitigation, but that is like really the entire game.
And you're
just trying to survive,
repair the station while bad things are happening,
before
like,
bad
things are happening. So it's very, you know, it's one of those stressful survival games if you're into that.
But cooperative.
It can be a lot of fun.
Oh, all right. Hospital Connect. A story of early day coal mining. Traditional Euro. This is from Capstone. Also not a bad game. It's good.
We've had this for a long time.
We've had this for a really long time, and it's just all about coal. Reminds me of like Lignum, but with coal.
So with coal, and so that's an older. It's a Euro. So if you're into that, you're looking forward to it.
Yes.
Stone Age, the original.
This is an original, a classic, if you will, Stone Age. This is a good one. This is like one of those, just like if you're a board gamer, you need to have played Stone Age. So this is your
it's a really good game. It's a dice game, and you're trying to get resources and build huts, and then it's a lot of fun. It's tough.
First Class, another good classic game. There's like more classic.
It's a train game.
It's a train game, so you're trying to load people onto your train. You're trying to load like cargo even.
Yeah, and you're building the train. It's all with cards.
All with cards. And plays really quickly, and it's a lot of fun.
This is actually a really good game too. So there's a lot of
that
these
I know we do have a playthrough on.
Yeah, there's a lot of these games that we are actually sad to see leave.
Yes. I'll go grab more while you go through this.
So here is the original La Granja. There was a reprint, but if you're looking to get a hold of the original and all of its yellow beauty, it is here. The Stronghold Games version, and it will. It will look great on your shelf if you find it in a new home.
Yellow on your shelf?
This one is one of out of my personal stock. This is the Witcher adventure game.
What do you mean your personal stock?
Because this one I traded for.
Oh, yeah.
It was designed by Ignacy Trewacek from Portal Games, if you know who Ignacy is. And when he did this for Fantasy Flight years ago, this game... and it's also published by CD Projekt Red, who is the creator of the video game The Witcher, right? And the Cyberpunk series now. So what's so special about this game is not in print. So you either gotta buy it in the secondary market or trade for it. And this is what I have. So it's in really good condition considering I traded for it. If you're looking to get your hands on the original Witcher adventure game, this is the way to do it. That one I'm not going to let go lightly, so prepare to bring only serious offers will be entertained. Okay, so here's another one that I've had for a long time. This is called Super Dungeon Explorer, Soda Pop Miniatures. This game is a really light miniatures dice chucking dungeon crawler game. It is and I'll show you from the top. It is a real simple game. It's got big maps. The unique charm of this game is in its miniatures. Now, granted, this is the base game, Super Dungeon Explorer. I also have the expansion, Caverns of Roxor. That's never been touched, really. But within, so I've got cards that are in here. The cards are sleeved. I also have a deck box of cards as well, which are all sleeved for this game. The miniatures are about half painted. Another one of those silly, crazy things I did. But if you notice, like, they are not lazily painted. These are actually really quite skillfully painted. I'm not even going to pretend that they're not, because they are. So, like, you've got little baby dragons. You've got your little heroes. There's obviously a lot of other bigger characters in here, but let's see if I have another character I painted up. Yes, I do.
There you go.
There we go. Look at this guy. It's like these are little chibis.
Yeah, they're cute.
See, even their faces, their eyes, like the whole. There's a lot of detail on them. So this was one of my pet projects from a long time ago. Here's even like the monster.
Before you were making so much board game
Treasure
content.
chests. Yeah. So if you're looking to get into this series and you're not afraid to have to paint it, then I say
go for it. Send
me an offer. I will release this for a severe discount just to get this into somebody's hands. Yeah. You can get that over there. Would love to see it find a new home. Here's a really good heavy game.
Oh, that's a good game. Agra. Yes, this is one I wanted to get my hands on for a long time. And it's a really good, crunchy Euro. A lot going on. I think maybe too much. It was a little fiddly, I think, for me personally. Like, it's kind of like seemed busier than it needed to be. It landed there for me.
It's got this huge, like, giant, like, resource thing. It, like, stands up.
Sticks up. Yeah.
It's one of those games where you have to take a resource to convert it to a higher level resource, and then take that one and convert it to a higher level resource, and then take that one and convert it to a higher level resource. So if you like doing that, then this is the game for you. which granted, what you call it is very much like that. Feast for Odin.
Yeah,
is a convert.
I think my beef with Agra, though, was that it just takes so long to set up. You just
don't like the location setting or the theme. She does not like
it's not
desert
even like
themed trading of silks and spices.
It's a fact, but it's not for nothing. Like, it's not like it's not an intentional thing.
It's not an intentional person thing. She does not like games set in this setting, period.
But I do, like, I love the colors. I love the idea of them.
To this date, you've not liked a single game in this, like, desert setting.
I know. Ever since Jaipur.
Yeah, that was it. Keyflower.
Oh, yeah, it's classic.
Nice tile placement Euro game. Classic. I don't think we need to say much about Keyflower. Nope. Everybody knows what it is.
Gugong.
Another TMG classic. They were really good. It's a shame,
But they did reprint this.
Yeah, they did.
But
I'm not sure if they did.
TMG did not. No,
they're not reprinting anything.
Capstone might have.
Yeah, it's a real shame they didn't get the right people on staff there to keep that company going, because they had such good titles.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
So. But this is still a good version. I mean, I have no qualms about the way that this one was designed or laid out.
Yeah. I thought it was beautiful.
So I think it's a beautiful game. It's a good game.
Yeah, I was completely content with this version of it. It's just that, again, it doesn't find its way to our table.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it's got to go.
So maybe it'll find its way to yours.
Yeah, Rattle Battle, grab the loot.
Per our last video when we discussed this.
It's got its own storage container for you. All the parts. This is a game where you basically you drop dice into the box, and those dice determine where your pirate ships are, and you upgrade your pirate ship, and you go battle stuff. So
and you grab loot.
Yeah, and you grab loot. That'll be a throw-in if you want it.
Yeah.
Messina.
Oh yeah, Messina. So this was tough to get rid of, because in my collector mind, like, I'm really liking Vladimir Suchy as a designer. So, like, part of me wanted to keep it just so that we have, like, a full collection, but we don't have all his other games. So, and this one, just the theme for me, I couldn't get around it. It's like rats during the Black Plague. Our friend Allie really enjoys this one. And it is crunchy. Like, it definitely, there is like a strategy here to, like, placing your workers and getting this wheel working and stuff. Yeah. But I just can't sit down with it with the theme. Like,
a little dry for me.
It was a little dry considering all the other things we have to play. So
Speaking of Vladimir Suchi,
yes.
Aldebaran Duel is another Suchi game that we picked up on a whim, wanted to try it, tried it, and we're like, all right, it's a space game.
I liked it.
It was decent. Like, it's not a bad game. It's just not good enough for us to want to keep it, right? We just, again, don't have the room for it.
This one's neat because you take cards and you, like, form your planets with the cards that you draw. So, and based on how you build your planet, you're trying to kind of match certain, like, not terrain types, but certain planet elements with other things so that you can get bonuses and build your tableau. So it's a tableau builder. I really liked it, but you weren't like super.
I wasn't in love with it. So if both of us aren't over the moon about it, we get rid of it. Agents of Smresh, that's the original. There was a reprint. The main book has a crease in the middle, but otherwise the game is pretty mint outside of that. It's a fun little game. Nothing crazy about it, but you're basically it's kind of an over-the-top co-op storytelling game where you're like agents in the Cold War and you got like this mad scientist doing bad stuff.
And speaking of Cold War, you can push that back over there because I'm out of room.
All right.
And we don't have much.
Twilight Struggle.
Yeah,
so this is a 2-player game, Russia versus the United States, card-driven, GMT, real classic.
Yes.
A game of influence and a game of basically dual-use cards, right? Cards are used for influence or cards are used for events, and events affect either side, depending. And it's just a real tug of war while sitting on the brink of nuclear destruction.
What more could you ask for? Yeah. It's a very long game if you're not familiar with it already.
And very thinky. It's tough.
Very good, but I think that we don't have the time for it, and we kind of can scratch that itch with some of the other 2-player games that we have that do the same kind of thing.
You betcha. Potion Explosion.
Oh, this is such a cute one.
The game with marbles.
Which we can't have in our house.
Yeah, with the little kids. So you basically draft marbles, you put them in, you craft potions, and then basically whoever builds the most potions by the end of the game wins.
Yep, that's really it. Yeah.
So, but it's fun. It's a fun game.
Seastead. So we went through this thing where I was picking up a lot of like 2-player versions of big box games. So this is the 2-player version of Flotilla, if you've played that. It wasn't bad. It was pretty easy to set up. We just didn't love it. Like I think it was a little too light for us.
It's very light.
Very light, very small footprint, and you're just kind of on your little flotillas all over the place, taking actions and doing things. So, but if you're into those, like only made for 2.
Yeah, for 2 players.
Because I think Flotilla might not be. It
it's
might
a
be
3-player
like a 3+
game.
So.
It's a 3+, yeah.
There you go.
Final Girl. So pick this up. While I did enjoy it, and I have the Creech Manor comes with it. So there's the base, and then Creech Manor will come with it. Pick this up. While I did enjoy it, I'm no longer into these solo punishing dice games like Hostage Negotiator, like I was at one point in my gaming hobby. I was a big fan of Hostage Negotiator. This is very much like it, but set in a horror movie sort of theme. I like it. I'm just not into swinging dice games anymore.
We don't play them a lot together, so.
Yeah, and
I liked it too.
I'd have to, for me to play a solo game, I have to really love it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just not happening.
Yes.
Leaving Earth. I feel
like I bought you this game.
No, you didn't. I bought it.
You did?
Yep.
What did I buy you?
You bought me Liftoff. Oh. So this is Leaving Earth. And this is a game that you did not like at all because you basically have to do tons and tons of math because you've got to basically you're running a space program. You've got missions to do throughout the game. One of them could just be getting in the outer atmosphere, outer orbit. One could just be get to the moon. One could be get to Mars, which is really hard because you've got to basically build these rockets and you have to calculate the lift minus mass, minus depending on where you are.
It's like literally rocket science.
It is rocket science in a card game, which is really heavy, thinky, awesome.
Because like you could send your thing up into space and it could like blow up.
It can. There's an opportunity.
Didn't calculate everything right.
Because
you roll your dice wrong. It's
you've got to test your rockets, and as you test them, you'll start to weed out the malfunction cards out of those rocket piles, which is good because then there's less chance of it blowing up. And you have to man them with astronauts, and they could die. And it's like there's a whole lot of bad that can happen. But the game's amazing if you have a mind for it. So just know that if you're into like real sciencey stuff about leaving Earth and building a rocket ship, like this game has it in spades. And it's like you have to order it from their website. It's not something you could get from your local game store.
All right. Oh, this one makes me sad to get rid of too, but we just don't have time. We don't have time for it.
We just don't have time. I wish if we could go back in time like these
Time
agents.
Stories. So we have Time Stories, and we also have the Marcy case.
In
Shrink, which has never been opened.
Right.
So Time Stories comes with its own case
with
or
its
set
own,
of cases.
with its own time story.
With its own story.
We played through it like once.
Are our notes in there?
No.
No, I think I might have taken them somewhere else. So if you're not familiar with Time Stories, you kind of like go into the game episode, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like an Assassin's Creed type of thing where like you go back in time, but you're sort of in this weird like dream state thing, and you're trying to like find clues and like work through this story and search rooms and stuff. But then when the time runs out, you're like snapped back. And you have to, if you can't like solve it, then you have to go back into it again, but you've got depleted resources. So it's pretty neat the way that it's set up, because it is actually timed in a way. You know
so
what I mean?
I think they've probably put out enough errata to address some of the clunky rules.
Yeah.
But I think past that, the game itself is pretty cool. It's like it's like solving mysteries, and they have a bunch of these like cases you can buy now that add onto it. So if you're looking to get into this series, then here's your way.
There you go.
Here's your start.
Whistle Stop.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest print I've ever seen on the back of a box.
I know.
This is really cool. It's a train route building game. I don't know what else really to say about it, except that you're collecting resources across the country while you're building routes and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
and a lot of people love it.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
for
I
us
think
it was
at the time
good,
it was
but
good, but
we just
haven't
it's
played
just
it,
one of those things we're not into anymore.
Yep.
We've moved on. It's like right on the camera.
Oh, I'll get it. I'll take them down.
All right.
Move a lot of these.
Yeah, we're getting towards the
down to the
end.
last. Are we putting Zombicide?
Yes, those are coming over here too. So, Western Legends, if you know about it, it's an open world Western game. It's basically it's a lot of like, you basically do whatever you want. You can go around, you can be an outlaw, you could be a sheriff, you can do good things, you can do bad. It's sandboxy, but if you're into Western games, this one was actually pretty fun. Because you get to basically live out your legend. All right, Thunderstone Quest. So this is the base game for Thunderstone Quest. It is a deck builder that was made a while ago, and they reprinted it as this Quest version. It's all organized inside. Everything's here. It's a really good game, to be honest with you. I just don't have time to play it, and I'm kind of like moving away from deck builders now.
Well, since you started playing that other one, it's like that's the deck builder to end all deck builders.
Well, yeah, which isn't even really I wouldn't say a deck builder, but it is kind of like I play Marvel Champions, and that's really my bar now. So like these old school deck builders where you're kind of building your deck during the game, I don't like. I like pre-built decks that I play during the game. Cool. Super Dungeon Explorer Forgotten King was a later game that came out in the Super Dungeon Explorer Chibi universe. This one here is open, but it's not punched, nor is it painted. So it's pretty much mint condition. Really cool looking minis on the back. A lot of, like I said, this is a lot of fun. It's just like big loot, big hits, killing a bunch of monsters. It's like an arcade game, basically. If you were to play an arcade video game, like that would be it.
Right. All right. Poor Ignacy. I feel like we're getting rid of all of his games.
Awesome, everybody
Imperial
else.
Settlers. Yeah.
All right, sorry about
You
that.
talk about that.
Imperial Settlers. So this is a card game where you're basically controlling a civilization, and every turn you're playing out cards in your tableau. You're building, you're collecting resources. You're building more stuff. You're at some points attacking your neighbor and raising their stuff. But it was a neat little Civ type builder game, tableau game. I prefer 51st State because I like the theme better. But again, still, I didn't love 51st State either, to be honest. So neither of them kind of worked for me.
All right. This is another one we had a little bit of a tip about because I was like, oh, it's like probably my favorite Red Raven game is Islebound. But we'll see. Again, like if it doesn't go, it doesn't go, and if it goes, we can always get a copy of it another time. The thing is, like, I don't know what I would replace it with. That's the test. You know what I mean?
Like, what would you get rid of?
Yeah, this is a cool one because it's not book based, like it's not story based. It's just a game like you sit down and play. And it's a tableau builder. You're just like floating from like island to island in this archipelago and making little houses
Yeah, building buildings.
Building
and that's like the timer.
And the timer is you building buildings, which was also why I guess we don't like it, because
it can go long. If you don't build buildings, the game can go real long.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oops, we got two.
So Mage Wars Academy, in Shrink core set. I think this is a card battler game, kind of like Magic, but it's Mage Wars. Never opened it. I don't know why I even bought it years ago, but it's a first print run, promo cards included. So, like I said, it's unopened. You want it, it's yours. Just send me an email.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a heavy one.
This is a heavy one, for real. The Colonists.
The Colonists. So this is a pretty chunky Euro.
Yeah.
That takes place over multiple eras. So it's made to be played in. Please, that's a nice
some of our chip things. Yeah.
Little chip holder for you.
Yeah.
It's made to be played over 4 different periods, I believe. And every period you build on to what you did before.
Yep.
So it like kind of you watch the civilization.
It is a good
progress.
civ builder.
Yeah, but it is a long game, and it takes a lot of like
look at all these chits.
Yeah.
Like just chits on chits on chits, and they're all different.
Yep.
Like, and it's funny because it's a really good game, but when we play games now and we see like art repeated over and over, or building types repeated over and over, and we kind of complain that like the theme isn't there or the work wasn't put in.
Yeah.
This is like what we're comparing it to.
Yeah, stuff
you know
like
what I
this.
mean? That like really the work is there, so it's a good game. Parks, also a beautiful game.
Beautiful game.
Really beautiful. Much too light for us.
Yeah.
That we're not literally like bringing it out and playing it, but a really beautiful game.
The thing
all about
is, we have like
parks.
a million of these small box games.
We do.
That we just don't ever play.
Yeah. So.
It's like, oh, this would be good for so and so, and then it's like, okay, well, so and so never comes
They're
over,
coming
so
over.
we're never gonna play this game with them.
All right, another one that I don't mind.
I'm gonna push those off
Like,
to the side.
here's another game I don't mind. That's how I feel
Again,
about going through most of our collection.
So
It's
look, Scythe is
it's a good game.
It's a good game. It's a beautiful game. It's fun, but it's one of those. It's like if we had a choice, what would we replace with Scythe? And there are a lot of games that we just can't seem to fit into that category. Exactly. We don't have any of the expansions for it, which means we've never played it enough to warrant us getting expansions for it, which to me tells the whole story.
We have My Little Scythe.
We have My Little Scythe, again, which we don't play, but we would with the kids, I think, as they get older. This is the last piece?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. All right, so here we go. This is another one of my painting.
Yes.
So here's the original Zombicide. This box has a ripped corner, but it is an unpunched game, and the zombies are, I believe, unpainted. Just looking in here, they might have been primed. So yeah, and some of the characters were painted actually, not bad either. We're decent painters, just so you know. So it's not like when we say we painted it, it's not like
we slopped some paint.
These are just like horribly painted. Like they are actually painted with care. So if you want a Zombicide set that does have some paint applied, so the zombies are primed.
Oops! Watch out! Right here.
Zombies are primed, but not painted. So it's all ready for you. So I'm hoping there's somebody out there who's like interested in painting up a base game of Zombicide.
Yeah.
This I'll get rid of for cheap. So if you really want it, I'd love to help you out.
Is the Rue Morgue?
Rue Morgue is like another
also unpunched
later version of Zombicide. It's been painted, not painted fully. Again, it's been partially painted.
This is actually sealed, so this is.
Is it sealed?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Look at this one here. Are you sure that one's sealed? It opens on the side.
I know.
Yeah, all right. So some of the zombies were painted. Some of them are primed.
Oh, here we go.
I know the heroes, I believe, might all be painted in this set.
Yeah, I think we painted these.
Yeah, all the heroes.
Yeah, these are all painted.
All the heroes are painted.
I remember painting these actually. Here.
Zoom in. Look at the camera.
Can you see that? Here.
Yeah, so Rue Morgue has all the heroes painted.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah. So that actually is a lot more enticing if you're someone who's looking to get your hands on a painted, at least with the heroes painted, like it all helps the immersion factor.
It does, yeah.
So this one, the corner is a little shredded.
A little worn,
I think these boxes are just not made well.
Yeah.
That they both of them on the same corner shredded a little bit. But I'll let these go pretty cheap.
Yeah.
On the cheap.
Cool.
Is that it?
I think that's it. I think those are all the piles.
Man.
I tried to count as we went, but I believe it's 50. I think we counted before we started.
There might be more.
And it might be like these are going together, so it's like...
Or separate. I'll sell them separate. Yeah.
So
whatever you want.
That might have been 50. It might have been a little more than 50.
Yeah.
But,
either way, we're trying to hit the 50 mark. We have at least one more batch to go like this, if not two.
Yeah, at least.
We have about 7 more big boxes of games.
Yeah, right.
So, but like we said, we are giving away 2 games a week on our Patreon. So if you are interested in joining that, we've got a ton. Like, we have just as many games that we showed you. We have that have been added to our giveaway pile.
Yeah.
So like, there's some weeks we just give away 4 games. There's some weeks we give away 2. It's just every week I want to get games in the mail out to people. If you're interested, join the Patreon. Like, it's the way to go. If you're interested, so you'll at least be in the running for the review copies of games that we're giving away, not selling. If you join the higher tier, you'll at least be in the running for one of the brand new in-shrink copies of the games that we have. And those are much more current titles that we're giving away.
Yeah.
So I think that rounds it up, yeah?
I think so.
All right, cool. So, like I said, the whole process is, if you like what you see, you want to put a bid on something, send us an email at antlabgames@gmail.com. Tell me the list of games you'd like to buy. You're welcome to make an offer, or you're welcome to ask what we would like for the games. We will send you back a price, and we are open to negotiate. So, like I said,
but like Anthony said before, if you're like not on top of your email a lot and you want to make sure that you kind of lock in, if you want to give us an offer, that's usually a little bit better, I think. Yeah. Because we'll be like, oh yeah, that's what we want to do.
Give me a decent offer, it locks it in pretty quick.
Or be on top of your
Or be on top of your emails, because you don't want to miss, because there are people who've come back and be like, oh, okay, or like they'll ask me for a price, I'll give them the price, I won't hear from them for 2 days.
Right, yeah, we're not.
And I'm like, those games are long gone, man. Like, within a week, we had sold at least 30 games. Yeah. Like, within 5 days, they were gone.
They went quick.
So it moves very fast. So just don't be bashful or hesitant to send us that email to get the game you want.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So this is it. This is it for round 2. We look forward to hearing from you, and happy. I wouldn't say bidding, because you're not really bidding.
You're not really bidding. Happy buying. Happy shopping.
Buying. Happy shopping. Hope there are some games here that you've been looking for and could find a good home in your collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
We'll see ya.